Okay, so I think my favorite thing about this movie is that I'm pretty sure it's the first time we've seen the Room of Evil stuff from the Conjuring movies in the daytime, so you can tell now that once you get past the door with all the magic locks and holy spells and shit protecting it, they've still got just like 5 regular-ass ground-level basement windows just looking right in on the place. So, I guess we're safe so long as the forces of darkness aren't any stronger than the average raccoon. Alright, I don't think we're up to needing a flowchart for this shit yet, but just so we're clear on this, the Annabelle movies are a spin-off series from The Conjuring, based around a haunted doll that was introduced in the prologue to the first of those movies. The first Annabelle was a prequel to the other Conjuring movies up to that point and was bad. Annabelle 2, which was actually really good somehow, was then a prequel to Annabelle 1, and now Annabelle 3, Annabelle Comes Home, is a sequel to Annabelle 1, Annabelle 2, Conjuring 1, The Nun, and The Curse of La Llorona, and is the first of the spin-offs to sort of re-involve the main characters of the prime Conjuring series in its storyline, but still takes place before Conjuring 2 because the hell if I know. Seriously though, there doesn't really seem to be a reason for Annabelle Comes Home to take place mid-series to the Mothership Hub franchise, other than the last installment worked by making the good guy side of the humans versus demons equation a set of young girls and older female caregivers, and this setting lets them pay off the Chekhov's gun of Annabelle taking control of the Warrens' other haunted objects, while daughter Judy can still be a precocious teen stuck at home with her babysitters. And just so we're clear, that is the movie. Despite the somewhat misleading editing of the trailers, Annabelle Comes Home is not also Conjuring 3 or even some reunification of the franchises wherein the Annabelle-adjacent entity is finally going to battle Ed and Lorraine Warren up close and personal. Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga do turn up at the beginning and the end, but otherwise this is a straightforward late 70s period cross between When a Stranger Calls and Poltergeist, in which a charmingly classic model quartet of a moody kid, her responsible babysitter, the babysitter's slightly less responsible best friend, and a cute but kind of dopey boy with a crush face down the forces of hell because the kid's parents happen to be professional exorcists, and the less responsible teenager just had to go snooping in the locked room where they keep all the jumping off points for the future Conjuring spin-offs.
What is your fascination with my forbidden closet of mystery?
The gimmick of the Conjuring movies, of course, is that they take place in an alternate timeline where the shameless religious nut fraudsters who perpetuated the Amityville hoax are a movie star sexy married couple with real-deal Satan-fighting psychic superpowers who keep a room full of cursed souvenirs from their most dangerous and not at all staged, obviously fake or famously debunked battles against the demonic in their basement, of which the most dangerous is the supposedly haunted doll Annabelle. But rather than being a possessed toy like the Child's Play movies, Annabelle isn't so much inhabited as she is a kind of satanic Wi-Fi hotspot for an all-powerful, still yet unnamed demon to access the human world and go hunting for souls. However, said demon's evil energy is powerful enough that the doll also tends to activate all manner of other evil goings-on in the general vicinity when it's working, and draw other demons, ghosts, and monsters toward the signal to jump out of the shadows and audition for spin-offs of their own, basically. Though if you were expecting the whole comes home part to mean the protagonist would be facing down an all-star squad of previous Conjuring nemesis, well, you clearly forgot that this series practically dares itself to still be smart and scary despite consistently featuring a singularly uninspired, mostly interchangeable set of monsters as the heavies, with a roster of also-rans making a pitch this time including a symbiotic wedding dress, a TV that sees the future, a haunted board game that's not Ouija, a Karen-esque ghoul called the Ferryman, whose whole thing already seems just too confusing to build a franchise out of, and a werewolf. Just a regular-ass werewolf, apparently. Sure, why not? And yet, I kid this movie, and in fact the whole series, but damn it, it still pretty much works. Like, I almost don't want it to, because by this point the machinery is so familiar and visible, and the marketing exercise of the Conjuring cinematic universe is such a brazenly cynical thing, and The Nun and La Llorona and the first Annabelle were all so shitty, and a strong sense of character writing. I mean, sure, the good girl, not as good girl, suitor boy, kid dynamics is straight out of Archie comics, but they're well drawn with dimensions so that their layers surprise you, and their occasional adherence to archetype feels like an earned reward. If nothing else, it's the first ensemble horror I can remember that rather deliberately doesn't include any characters who are only on hand to be the one we don't like so we can hurt them. Now that's not to say it's any great shakes or really anything but a time killer while we await Conjuring 3, but to the extent that audiences have for whatever reason decided to christen Annabelle so legit a modern horror icon, it's continued evidence that that status is decently earned. I liked it. 7 out of 10. Solid watch.